Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
I'm tracking our front this morning that will roll through later on today and bring us a chance of showers and then some much colder temperatures. I'll show you what to expect.
Growing memorials, what we're learning about the victims of the New Orleans attack, including from a local man who knew one of them well.
And a New Orleans attack connection to North Carolina. What we have learned about the suspect's time at Fort Liberty and the connections the driver in the Las Vegas Cybertruck explosion has to that post as well.
And a student remembered how an Orange County school will come together to honor a teen who died in a shooting this week. A lot to tell you about here on this Friday morning. We're so glad you're up with us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Levinger in for Jeff Hogan. Yes, we have some very hard stories today, but some lighter ones to uplift you in just a bit. We'll get to those in a second. We do want to start your day off with your weather forecast for the weekend. We've got Elizabeth Gardner with a quick peek at that.
Oh, it's going to be a cold one, but today not so bad. We're taking a live look here at downtown Raleigh from our camera on the Sheraton building there. 31 degrees is our current temperature. Our wind is light at 3 miles per hour currently. It's 28 in Clinton and Roxborough, 33 in Rocky Mount, and 32 degrees in Southern Pines. Hour by hour, we have a small chance for showers starting at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon and ending at around 6. We're going to walk through the timeline on Futurecast and show you the amounts, which will be very, very light. Ahead of our front, it will be a warm day today. Temperatures climb into the low 50s, but our cold front will kick up some wind. Wind chill will be significant for tonight and tomorrow. I'll show you what it will feel like. Coming up, Ken.
At 6:01, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We've got one incident to report this morning. There's a serious crash, we're being told, on Glenwood Avenue near Lynn Road, but the good news is we're not picking up any issues on our sensors. So just in case you're in that neighborhood, you might see some police activity. If I-40 is part of your morning commute this morning, nothing but zero showing up. That means it's delay-free wherever you're heading on I-40 westbound this morning. You're getting ready to head out the door this morning. Tune us in, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
Ken, thank you. Bourbon Street in New Orleans is back open to much smaller crowds after the attack there early Wednesday morning. This is a live look at the French Quarter, where we've seen people walking throughout the night. Here's where the investigation stands right now. The FBI says it believes the attacker acted alone as he plowed through the street early Wednesday morning, killing 14 people and injuring dozens more. While the attacker said he was doing it on behalf of ISIS, the White House has seen no evidence of foreign involvement in the attack. The FBI also says there is no definite connection right now between the attack in New Orleans and the Tesla Cybertruck explosion outside a Trump hotel in Vegas.
Now, Renee, we should also mention the men connected to the New Orleans attack and the Las Vegas explosion. They have ties here to North Carolina. In fact, both served at Fort Liberty when it was still called Fort Bragg. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Fort Liberty this morning. And Kelsey, we're starting to learn a lot more similarities between these two men.
Yes, Chris, there's so many similarities between the two of them, aside from the fact that they both served here at Fort Liberty. Now, maybe these are just coincidences, but the FBI is working this morning to see if there is more to this. Now, we all know Shams Sadine Jabbar and Michael Livelsberger both served in the Army and were stationed here at Fort Liberty. But law enforcement says there's no record that they served in the same unit and they didn't overlap. However, they both served in Afghanistan back in 2009. Now comes the similarities in what happened. Both men used the same car rental company, Turo, to rent vehicles with attacks on New Year's Day. And both vehicles were electric, a Ford F-150 Lightning in New Orleans and a Tesla Cybertruck in Las Vegas. Law enforcement shared an update on the Las Vegas attack yesterday.
We've identified 2 semi-automatic handguns recovered from the Tesla. We have successfully traced those firearms, and I can tell you that Matthew Livelsberg lawfully purchased both of these firearms on December 30th, 2024. We have agents following up those investigative leads. We know exactly where those firearms were purchased, and we will share any developments.
We've reported before that the FBI says Jabbar was inspired by ISIS. As for Leibelsberger, the FBI says they haven't had access to his computers or his phones just yet, so that could give them some clues about his motive. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Fayetteville.
Memorials are growing on Bourbon Street for the victims of the attack. Crosses and flowers line the street. Among them is a sign saying a vigil will be held there tomorrow night. And now we want to share some of the victims' stories. Nakira Dido was 18 and dreamed of becoming a nurse. Her mom posted, "When your parents say don't go anywhere, please listen to them. I lost my baby. Just pray for me and my family." Nicole Perez was a single mom. She didn't have a car, so she walked to work to provide for her 5-year-old son. She told friends she was excited about New Year's Eve in the French Quarter. And the mother of 21-year-old Hubert Gothro says he would give anyone everything. His last text to his family came just after midnight. He wrote, "I love you."
And a Garner man remembers one of the New Orleans attack victims as a great friend and a teammate. Colin Eady played alongside Tiger Besh on the Princeton University football team.
You know, your heart breaks when you see stuff like this, but I think for anybody, it hits a lot different when, you know, your friends, your family, your loved ones are involved in a senseless incident like this.
Besh was from Louisiana, and he was on Bourbon Street with another teammate at the time of the attack. Ryan Quigley has a broken leg, but he is expected to be okay.
And happening right now in the WRAL Life Center, we want to show you some new video of the moments, the first moments that Shamsuddin Jabbar drove his pickup truck off of Canal onto Bourbon Street. Look at this video. It just puts into perspective how fast that he was driving down Bourbon Street. That woman on the left-hand side of your screen there, just getting out of the way from his truck. Look at this again, how quickly he is going. He plowed that rented truck into a blocked off section of Bourbon Street and mowed down dozens of people over a 3-block stretch. But again, just absolutely horrific to see how fast that he was driving.
To see, and again, that woman you said there, inches away from that truck. Goodness. Now, from the New Orleans terror attack and to the Las Vegas Cybertruck explosion, we have complete coverage on these investigations on WRAL.com and our news app.
The new Congress convenes today at the U.S. Capitol, where you're looking live right now. Now, the first big move will be to vote for a Speaker of the House. President-elect Donald Trump says he wants Mike Johnson to keep the role, but it's unclear if Johnson has enough support for that to happen. Republican Representative Thomas Massey of Kentucky says he will not support Johnson. If he and just one other Republican vote for another candidate, Johnson will lose. Lawmakers can hold several rounds of votes. That process lasted 3 weeks in 2023. They're supposed to certify the presidential election results on Monday. It's unclear how they would be able to do that if they haven't chosen a speaker by then.
A Rocky Mount man is facing an attempted murder charge, and that's because police say he severely injured a man. Police arrested William Battle. An investigation started when 61-year-old Stanley Deese was dropped off at a hospital Tuesday morning. Deese is in critical condition at last check at ECU Medical Center. Police say Battle attacked the man on East Hudson Street. Battle is being held at the Edgecombe County Jail without bond.
Today, we'll learn more about a bomb threat that forced all lanes of I-85 near Greenville, South Carolina, to close for 5 hours. So this all started with a traffic stop around 2:45 yesterday afternoon. A tractor-trailer driver told a state trooper he had an explosive device inside his truck. All 6 lanes of I-85 were shut down as authorities investigated. No bomb was found. The driver was taken into custody. Authorities say they'll release more information today, including the charges against the driver.
In his first action as governor, Josh Stein traveled to Asheville, and he signed 5 executive orders for Helene relief. He's creating a new state agency focused on Western North Carolina disaster relief. He also lifted regulations on state government purchases. Stein says that will speed up efforts to rebuild roads and homes. The governor says the response will be a top priority for his administration.
We want every dollar dedicated to recovery, whether federal, state, local, or charitable, to be spent as efficiently, impactfully, and quickly as possible.
Governor Stein is also giving state employees extra vacation time, and that's time they can only use for volunteering for disaster relief efforts.
Tonight, Cedar Ridge High School's girls basketball team will honor a former player who was killed in a shooting this week. Zakira Wardlow was found dead early Monday morning in Hillsboro. She attended Cedar Ridge last school year and played for the team. They will honor her before their game tonight at 6:45 against Southern Alamance. Counselors and support services will also be there for students and staff.
Your time is 6:09. A close call on New Year's Eve.
For a moment of celebration, could have changed everybody's life.
Hear why one couple says a change in their plans for the holiday saved them from tragedy.
Search for a suspect. A new push for leads to track down a person who placed pipe bombs in D.C. nearly 4 years ago.
And I'm tracking a front that comes across our area later this afternoon. It'll bring us just a 20% chance of rain. I'll show you who's likely to see it, and we'll touch on what could happen around here on Monday.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:12, taking a look at partly cloudy skies as you're headed out the door this morning. And we're definitely looking at some chilly temperatures too. Expect the temperatures to be on the chilly side as we get into the next several days. As a matter of fact, our hour-by-hour wind chill on Saturday is definitely looking very chilly for us. Let's take a look at our temperature heading out the door right now, 31 degrees. So it's a cold start this morning, but we'll actually see temperatures climbing up to around 50 degrees for us later on this afternoon. Let's take a look at our potential for some isolated showers. We do have that chance across the area later on this afternoon. It's only a 20% chance between, say, 3 and around 6 p.m. And then for the next few days, temperatures will drop considerably with highs mostly in the 40s this weekend.
And happening now in the WRAL traffic center, all the major routes are delay-free this morning, but there are a couple of incidents I want to bring your attention to this morning. First is a serious crash on Capitol Boulevard in the eastbound lane near Cherrywick Road, but we're not picking up any issues in that particular area, but just watch for some police activity. Similarly, this crash on Glenwood Avenue near Lynn Road, traffic seems to be flowing along in both directions, but I'll keep an eye on that and let you know if it's going to continue to affect your morning commute. But again, also all our major routes are delay-free this morning. And coming up in a few minutes, Renee, I'll have a look at the drive times into the capital city.
Sounds good. We'll check in with you then. This is quite a story. A Halifax County couple believes their decision to change a New Year's Eve tradition may have saved their lives. A bullet came through the Faulkner ceiling just minutes after the ball drop at midnight, and they believe it was celebratory gunfire. The couple went to bed early instead of celebrating the New Year in their living room like they do every year, and that's where the bullet landed.
Decided to go to bed instead of staying up to celebrate, could we be making plans for a funeral?
The couple says deputies collected the bullet as evidence.
A shooting outside a nightclub in Queens is believed to be gang-related. That injured 10 people, according to law enforcement. No arrests have been made, though, and all the victims are expected to live. Police say 15 people were waiting outside that venue when 3 or 4 men opened fire on the group. Investigators say the men got away in a car. Police say that there was a separate shooting hours later in Brooklyn. A 17-year-old was shot in the stomach, in fact. Police believe it was related to the shooting in Queens.
The FBI released new video of a person who placed a bomb at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in D.C. It's been 4 years since that incident and still no arrests. These new video angles were not available before. The FBI hopes people watching, perhaps it will jog somebody's memory, or maybe somebody knows something and is ready to come forward. The bombs were placed on January 5th of 2021. Vice President Kamala Harris came within 20 feet of one of them. The bombs were not found until the next day.
The labor union representing tens of thousands of dock workers in the United States will negotiate again as another strike is possible. This is between the International Longshoremen's Association and United States Maritime Alliance. They're set to continue contract discussions on Tuesday. Nearly 45,000 dock workers went on a 3-day strike in the fall. A temporary deal was reached in October, but issues with automation remained unresolved. If a new deal is not reached by January 15th, workers could carry out another strike.
There are only a few days left to enroll in health insurance for the new year, and 5 on Your Side is here to help. On Tuesday, you can get your questions answered about Affordable Care Act plans for free. Experts with the North Carolina Navigator Consortium will be here at WRAL taking your calls, answering questions, and scheduling appointments to sign you up for an ACA plan. Tune in Tuesday for details about how to call and get your questions answered. The first weekend of 2025 is filled with plenty of chances to get out and about.
Yeah, I would find it hard to believe that you would be bored. So let's start off with a fan convention in town. Animate Raleigh returns to the convention center. This festival is from the people behind GalaxyCon and focuses on all things animated. Voice actors and artists will be at the convention center today through Sunday. There will also be cosplay, video, and tabletop gaming panels, plus costume contests and so much more. Single and multiple day passes are still available, so you know they are $50. Children 9 years and younger are admitted free with a paid adult.
It is your final weekend to see some amazing art displays in downtown Raleigh. The Illuminate Art Walk is happening through Monday. This is a free self-guided walking tour. There are 19 different exhibits to check out. Good for the gram.
And the North Carolina Symphony performs this weekend. The Symphony will present its Young People's Concert, Tchaikovsky Discovers America. That's tomorrow at the Martin Marietta Center for the Performing Arts in Raleigh. The shows are at 1 and 4 p.m., and they'll include music from the 1812 Overture, Sleeping Beauty, the Nutcracker Suite, and Swan Lake. There will be pre-concert performances, too, from the Cardinal Gibbons High School Chamber Orchestra and Triangle Youth Music. Tickets are still available. They start at $26. And for more events, you can go to WRAL.com and search the words Out and About. I don't know. I think you might want to sit and watch the symphony. It's probably a little warmer inside the Performing Arts Center this weekend, though we have some colder days that are approaching, Elizabeth.
We really do. Today's not going to be so bad. Temperatures close to normal in the low 50s. We're going to drop at a good 10 degrees for tomorrow, and it stays chilly for the weekend and into next week, too. We take a live look at Fayetteville, as well as Raleigh, Apex, and Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. But you can see there a little bit of cloud cover in Raleigh this morning as we're taking a look past the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. I know you're looking at this purple showing up here on the map. This is all happening very high up in the atmosphere and evaporating before it's reaching the ground. But with our cold front later this afternoon, we'll see just a few light sprinkles, and we could see some snow showers for a good bit of the day in the mountains. And I know that's making the ski resorts very happy. They've had a lot of cold air. They've been making a lot of snow. It's been a really good start to the ski season. For us at 3 o'clock, we're looking at a few isolated showers from South Hill down to Durham. By 5 o'clock, that pushes to along and east of I-95 from Goldsboro to Rocky Mount, say Tarboro, and up toward Roanoke Rapids. And then after that, it's done with. This will be very light amounts of rain. We'll also see the winds really picking up this afternoon and overnight tonight into tomorrow. It's going to be really windy for us. We're going to talk more about that wind and the wind chill coming up. 20% chance of rain today, 20% late Sunday. That chance goes up Sunday night into Monday. And if you've been following the weather lately, you know there's been some talk about the potential for some wintry weather. Most likely for the bulk of our viewing area, it is all going to be rain, but to our north, it is likely to be snow, and that does include Virginia, possibly even Mecklenburg County. Now, this is, of course, a look at our front that comes through today. Lots of snow in the mountains and north up toward Washington, D.C. But here's the Monday system, and look here, right along the Virginia line, it's possible that we could see maybe a quarter to a half an inch of snow. Most of that's going to be up into Virginia, and then much heavier as you get farther to the north. In terms of snow for the triangle southward, there is 0% chance of an inch of snow. We could see a little bit of light icing, especially here closer to South Hill. I'm not sure why they didn't. Here it comes. Yeah. A quarter of an inch can create some power outages. So we'll be watching for that potential too, with a chance for some freezing rain. So just keep tuned here. We'll continue to watch what's happening from Monday. Monday may end up being a weather alert day. Definitely looking at some really chilly air too. Again, Ken, today's high temperature close to normal, but after that, this weekend and next week, turning really cold.
We'll have the heavy coats.
Yes.
With things. We just have a couple of instances to tell you about this one. One on Capitol and Trawick Road, and the other one on Glenwood Avenue near Lynn Road. Neither's causing any problems for you this morning, but just watch for some police activity as you're heading out this morning. In terms of the drive times into the capital city, very little to no delays whatsoever. You can see zeros running wild as well in the Bull City. You're going to get to your destinations on time if you're heading to the capital city or the Bull City. If you're getting ready to head up this morning, all always know we'll keep you updated on the radio. 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
New Orleans hosts its first major event after the Bourbon Street attack. How a Raleigh man who went to the Sugar Bowl says security was ramped up.
Plus, celebrating a community leader, the lasting honor being given to a former Durham mayor today.
First, here's a look at your winning North Carolina Education Lottery numbers.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
2025 is already shaping up to be a big year for Meghan Markle.
We have Ken Smith here to talk a little bit about what's trending.
You know, Chris, the other day we told you about her return to Instagram. Now the Duchess of Sussex is returning to TV as well.
Let's make a show.
Let's go.
Let's go. Netflix releasing the trailer for her new series. It's called With Love, Meghan. It will premiere on Netflix on January 15th.
Yeah, a lot of food in this video. 8 episodes, 33 minutes each, where she's shown her cooking and gardening skills. She has special guests like Mindy Kaling there. Prince Harry will also make a special appearance too, but she just kind of shows, this is lifestyle programming here. So 8 episodes. Meghan Markle back on TV.
Hey, I want to be invited to a social hour. How about that?
Right? She's channeling her Martha Stewart there. I don't know.
Exactly. Hey, we're rolling out the red carpet for Hollywood's award season. The Golden Globes are this Sunday. Nikki Glaser will host. The star-studded list of presenters include Andrew Garfield, Michelle Yeoh, Demi Moore, Dwayne Johnson, Vin Diesel, and the incomparable Elton John.
We get to see, obviously, who are the big names getting some big awards during the time. And, we like watching them on TV and movies, but they deserve to be recognized for their hard work, right?
Yeah.
Very much so. And Nikki Glaser will crush it.
It'll be fun.
Hilarious.
Researchers in the United Kingdom found a Jurassic highway of sorts. Look at this. They uncovered hundreds of dinosaur footprints in a lime quarry. The prints are thought to date back to the Middle Jurassic period. That was about 166 million years ago. 5 extensive tracks were found, and this is being called one of the largest dinosaur track sites in the world. Fascinating.
Tickets to North Carolina aquariums will be half price later this month. The state's aquarium will sell tickets at a half-off rate for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and that is on Monday, January 20th. Remember, you do have to reserve your tickets in advance, and you can do that online.
Time now, 6:26. A fire destroyed a local man's truck and damaged his house. How he says his neighbor's New Year's Eve activities are to blame for this.
And I'm tracking a cold front that comes through later on this afternoon. It will bring us a few sprinkles and then some really cold temperatures for the weekend. I'll show you coming up.
And Bourbon Street in New Orleans is back open. This is a live look where the investigation stands after the New Year's Day terror attack.